The movie begins with a little boy walking along the edge of a mountain, and the scenic view of the valley in the distance is peaceful and serene. Suddenly, he hears the sound of rocks shifting. Trusting his instincts, he starts to run. As he accelerates, he feels something following him. The camera briefly reveals a glimpse of the creature, a monster chasing the boy. He runs as fast as possible, but the monster is closing in. With a leap of desperation, the boy jumps across a white line. The kid is in shock, but gets up and starts walking towards the valley the humans built up on the mountains, at 8460 feet above sea level. The village has a population of 193 people and is called Lost Gutch Refuge. When the boy returns, he is sad, and his father, Will, notices him. He asks his son why he entered the range and answers that he wants to see another village. After that, Will goes on a hunt with Katie, and Katie tells him to let the kid relax as he is the only kid in this valley. But Will tells Katie that his son goes to the line because it was the last place he saw his mother. They hunt a deer and come back. On the other hand, Nina makes bullets and shoots at her aims to practice her aims. The night falls, and Will has a nightmare about Tara, who was killed by Reapers during an expedition with Nina, a former scientist, to find their weaknesses. And Will wakes up his sons, breathing heavily. His son has a lung disease and his oxygen filters are burned out. The next day is his son's birthday. He exchanges his bullets for a pack of mac and cheese and tells his son that he will be going to a village below the white line to another town to get his son oxygen filters. The next night, his son gets another attack and he doesn't have any oxygen. He has an injection. He gives his son an injection and puts him to sleep. Then Will returns to Nina to ask her to come with him to the mission and save him because she knows what these creatures are. She works with Will's wife Tara in a lab to study the monsters, but the lab is destroyed. Nina first says no and tells Will that it is a suicide attempt because these monsters will kill them, but he doesn't listen. He tells her that he will leave in the morning and leaves. Nina then drinks and has a flashback of the day Tara was killed, so she decides to go with Will. The next day, Will packs for the trip and Nina joins him. He picks up his guns from the shop and Katie meets him there. She tells him she isn't leaving him alone. They then pack up and go on the mission. They entered the Elba Fire Road, which led them to a mine below the safety line. There, they find a few army circles and start looking for anything that can help. Nina has a compass device she invented that can detect a nearby Reaper due to their high bioelectromagnetic pulses. After going through some stuff, they find some good things and gather supplies, including a grenade launcher. Nina also sees some blood samples, and the blood seems fresh to her, so she knows that these creatures are nearby somewhere. Later, they follow the road leading them to a former ski area. But the ski area is below the safe line, and they have run now because Nina's compass detects a nearby Reaper due to their high bioelectromagnetic pulses. A Reaper spots them, but Will has an idea. He thinks they will be killed if they run, so he asks Nina and Katie to wait on the chairlift so they can reach the 8,000 feet real fast. Still, when he goes to power the chairlifts, the power is out and the Reaper is now getting close. Katie fires a grenade at the creature, but he keeps getting close. They fire another grenade, but nothing works. Will turns on the ski lift's backup generators. Nina umps on the running chairlift and jumps on it too. To save time, Will starts to shoot the Reapers, but it gets angry. Katie goes to the tower and jumps on Charlie, but the Reaper is intelligent. He grasps the wire and slows the chair's life. However, it doesn't slow the group to run for their life. They fall off the chairs and start to run. The Reaper is approaching them, but they aren't slowing down. They finally make up to the safe line just by shooting grenades and firing at the creature, allowing the group to escape the Reaper narrowly above the safety line. They then walk towards the valley and rest at the old lodge, where Nina finds a bottle of old wine. They relax for a while and cheer for not getting killed by the Reaper after Nina explains that the Reapers don't eat or sleep, theorizing that they are not biological creatures. That night again, when everyone is sleeping, Will has a flashback of his wife talking about going to save the world with Nina, and Tara says they cannot hide in the Lost Gutch Refuge forever. One day or another, Hunter's oxygen tank is going to end, and Will tells her that he can't lose her, or his son. He will come up with a solution, but Tara says she has to go, and the flashback ends. They are ready to face the Reapers and find oxygen the next day. The group comes to a former mining tunnel Will knows from when he was a miner. However, here's the twist. Before the start of this mission, when Will goes to talk to Nina about the mission, he shares that he knows the mines and he knows these are safe and they can reach the destination. But at the start of the tunnel, Will is quiet when the girls are asking him questions, and Nina shouts to ask if the mines are lower than the safety line. He says that walking 250 yards, even 1 yard below the safety line, is dangerous, and Katie is angry too. Still, Will says he is not going back. He will go and get that oxygen for his son no matter what, and tells Nina that her campus can help them. But Nina reveals a shocking thing here. The mine's lower levels dip below the safety line. Nina's compass won't warn them of nearby Reapers if they enter, since it does not function underground. As they entered the mines, they found that the level above the safety line was welded shut during the initial invasion. Katie and Nina here again get angry that if they ever step a foot below the waterline, they will get killed. But Will is determined to find the oxygen for his son at any cost. Katie starts remembering her past here, and she tells them what happened on the last day before this apocalypse happened. She tells them her boyfriend was a bastard and he beat her, and she ran away after hitting him, and she drove herself to the town. She's been living there for 3 years, and returning to the lower town is hitting nostalgia. Nina tells them the Reapers can see their oxygen in the dark and they live in tunnels, but Will isn't listening, so they all go ahead. They climb the ladder individually, and now they must run for about 1,000 yards to reach the safety line. While walking towards the safety line, they hear a noise. They all stop and look at the back, and there it is, a Reaper. Will yells to run and shoots at the Reaper. They are now in the fight to save their lives. They throw Grande at the Reaper to help buy some time. Nothing kills the Reaper, and they cannot run fast. Nina finds a hole in the tunnel and they all rush inside to hide. Still, the Reapers are sharp. They can see your oxygen, so Nina asks them to hold their breath. The Reaper tries to inspect the small area to see if there is someone in, but will not hold his breath any longer and will fire a Grande to distract the Reaper. Meanwhile, Katie saw some light coming in from a small hole and shouted that there was a way out. They start to throw the rocks away and dig out the sand to make a way, and suddenly the Reapers get Katie. Will tries to hold on to her, but the Reaper is stronger than Will and he wins, killing and taking away Katie. Will and Nina are in shock. They can't help Katie anymore. Nina spoke to Will and asked him to run before the Reaper came back, and after running a while, Nina and Will escaped and returned to the surface above the safety line. Nina tells Will that she wants to return to her lab for her stockpile of magnesium. She hypothesizes that the Reaper's impenetrable scales produce magnetic defense mechanisms. If one of the bullets is laced with a magnesium mineral, it will penetrate and kill the creature through internal combustion. They then find a car outside the safety area and check if it runs, which can help them reach the hospital where the oxygen is. The car starts, and they can now finally reach quickly. They proceed to Boulder and find oxygen filters in an abandoned hospital. However, both of them have to be very vigilant and quick to find the oxygen. They step into the hospital and find their way to the first floor, second, and then third. On the third floor, there are a few cabins where the oxygen was kept, but Will couldn't find it. Nina gets a signal at her campus that the Reaper is coming for them. Nina tells Will to hurry. Will runs to another room and finally finds the oxygen. As soon as Will finds oxygen, the Reaper finds them too. Will and Nina try to ditch the Reaper, but he attacks them from room to room. The hospital is now the battleground. After escaping the Reaper, Will and Nina are in a ballroom. Will asks Nina if she should run, and he will be right behind her. Will sees a couple of gas canisters at the corner of the opening. He takes aim at the Reaper, but as the Reaper is about to approach him, he shoots at the gas canisters to stall it and gives them time to escape. They're a big blast and the Reaper gets thrown down the hospital. Nina is also hiding behind the door. They check and it's not moving. After that, they think they have time, and Will is not happy he got the oxygen for his son. Will wants to get back to his son. When Will tells her he doesn't care about anything, Nina says this isn't only about his son, but the rest of the world, who needs help. What if there was another child in need of help and they couldn't? Just because they went back, and in the last, she says that Tara, Will's wife, would have wanted to help the world. And like this, Nina convinces him to help her return to her former U.S. Department of Energy laboratory. Will learns that Nina lost her family to a Reaper attack. They drive to the lab and soon, Nina starts experimenting with the bullets. She has one metal piece from the Reaper to examine if it can be killed. There Will checks for some stuff, but finds that Nina isn't always alone. She has a family too. Husband's children, and asks if she ever talked about them. Nina starts crying and says that she has always regretted not going to the last game of her kids. Her husband went with them the last time she saw her family. Now she is waiting for her revenge. Angry, and that's why she wants to kill the Reaper badly. Will is shocked by this information, but the time is ticking. Nina lets Will return to his son while she researches how to kill the creatures. After several attempts, Nina mixes the magnesium over the bullet to kill the Reaper. She gets the idea to add cobalt to the bullet now, and asks if she can kill the Reapers, or if this will end everything. Still, she successfully kills a Reaper who breaks into the lab with a bullet laced with a magnesium-cobalt mixture. On the other hand, Will leaves in a pickup truck. He drives as fast as he can because he is at 5,000 feet. Reapers can get him at any moment, but as soon as he is about to reach the safety line, his tires pop, forcing him to run to the safety line. He is running as fast as he can, but he hears the Reapers approaching him. He runs through the rocks, and as he is about to reach the line, he sees Reapers pursue him from the above. He tries to turn back, but there's another Reaper, and all of a sudden he is surrounded by a few more. The Reapers corner him. Will shoots at the Reapers, but nothing happens because these Reapers cannot be killed with a simple bullet, and then Nina arrives just in time and kills them with her cobalt and magnesium-laced bullets, causing them to explode from internal combustion upon impact. Will asks her if the truck worked well and smiles at her for saving him. Then they pick up the Reaper's body and it's not skin, but a machine working. They realize that the Reapers are not biological, but machines built using advanced alien technology, proving Nina's theory correct. Because the Reapers only hunt them but do not eat them also. They don't sleep or eat. Will asks if they were underground and where these things came from, and Nina looks at the sky. They return to Lost Gulch, and Will reunites with Hunter. Nina raises a pirate flag for other nearby communities in the Rocky Mountains, signifying that a Reaper has been killed. The communities resume radio contact and start arming themselves with cobalt magnesium-coated bullets to fight against the Reapers. In a post-credit scene, Nina looks through a telescope with Will at her side as 3 greenish meteorites enter orbit.